Hey guys, I'm Leon and welcome to Strongertmr training. Today is episode 1 of Ask a Fitness Professional, where you ask me all your fitness related questions and I'll answer them as best as I can. So, let's get started. Question 1. I am not losing weight even though I'm exercising and dieting. What's wrong? Is there something wrong with me? Okay, so usually when someone gives me this kind of information, I would need more. Okay, it's not enough for me to come to a conclusion. So the first thing you gotta do is start by logging down on your food. Start keeping a food journal. I recommend you to do this for at least a week. Take note of everything you eat, from your breakfast, lunch to dinner, even the snacks and drinks. We all know a lot of Singaporeans love their bubble tea. Okay, so start with the food journal, and at the end of that week, take an hour or so to calculate the amount of calories you have eaten, and then just check whether you're actually on the caloric deficit or not. Next, at the same time, you want to keep track of the intensity of your training. How you can do this is to use a Fitbit or an app on your phone to just roughly calculate the amount of calories you burn in each workout. This is not the most accurate measurement, but it's a good way for you to track your progress nonetheless. Okay. This is some harsh truth, but most people don't diet as well as they think they are, and they don't train as hard as they think they are training. So usually once I make my trainees or some of my prospects to calculate or note this down, they actually realize that I probably should diet more or train a little bit harder. Question 2. The gyms and fitness corners are closed, so how can I still train and maintain my fitness? Well, this really depends on your definition of fitness. Some people train in order to become stronger, to become more aesthetic, and to grow more muscle. And if these are some of your goals, it's going to be really hard for you to maintain this because you don't have the right tools for the job, or you don't have the best tools for the job. On the other hand, if you just want to maintain your fitness in the very general sense of the word, your cardio endurance, muscular endurance, strength, mobility, and so on, it's actually pretty easy. Okay, you can do your walking and running for cardio. You can do your bodyweight exercises, calisthenics and HIIT for your strength and your muscular endurance. And you can do yoga, for example, or stretching and foam rolling for your mobility and flexibility work. So for general fitness, that's still pretty easy. Okay, but at the same time, I'll highly recommend for those of you who want to train for strength, aesthetics, and for more muscle, that you still maintain a decent level of fitness, still continue to train, because the longer you don't train, the more you'll be detrained. And by the time you get back to the gym and all of this reopens, it's going to be very hard to pick up the momentum in order to continue to achieve your goals. If you want a full program to train your overall fitness, I do have a free program on my website, which I'll link in the description box below so you can check it out. Moving on to question 3. What are some home fitness equipment that you can recommend? Okay, one of the main constraints of working out at home with no equipment is that you can't really train your posterior or your back muscles because you need something to pull. I've seen some home workout videos where they recommend you lying on the floor face down and pulling yourself with a towel in order to train your lats and to simulate a lat pull down, but it looks pretty dumb, to be honest. So my recommendation would be for you to get a pull-up bar or a suspension trainer like a TRX or a dip bar. I have a pull-up bar and dip bar at home myself. Only consider the suspension trainer if you have somewhere secure to hold it on to. You don't want to hook it onto your door and the whole door just collapse on you. There's been a lot of home workout accidents happening already. If you already have that, right, or you don't want to get that, my next recommendation would be to get a kettlebell. These are very versatile pieces of equipment. For beginners, you can do your squat, you can do your you can do your presses, you can do your lunges, you can do your rows. And for more experienced trainees, there are more advanced exercises like your cleans, your swings, your snatches, and your Turkish get-ups. So kettlebells are really versatile for all levels of fitness, but it can be a bit pricey. 12 kg kettlebell will cost you around like $60, so keep the budget in mind. If you want something cheap, get a suspension trainer or pull-up bar. If you have a bit more budget, you can consider to get a kettlebell. Question 4. I don't have much motivation to train right now. What can I do in order to stay motivated? First of all, I completely empathize with you. A lot of people aren't very motivated right now because there's a global pandemic happening. A lot of us are shut in at home. We are getting thrown out of our usual routines. Some of us have even lost their jobs. It's very easy to succumb to the temptation of saying, I quits, alright? But this is why we really need to have discipline. To do the things that we need to do even though we don't want to do it. And a good way to foster this discipline is to find a very personal reason on why you started training in the first place. This might be because you want to grow old playing with your grandkids, or you just want to be more confident with how you look. Whatever it is, you want to make sure that it deeply resounds with you. So whenever you feel that you don't want to train, remind yourself of that reason, and most probably you'll do it. Okay, my own personal reason is that I want to become stronger out of this pandemic. As most of you know, I'm a gym instructor, so effectively I am jobless right now, but that doesn't matter to me. I'm going to use this opportunity to thrive, not only survive. So my reason is that I'm going to train no matter what because I'm going to come out of this stronger. I want to come out of this stronger. And we're down to our final question. How do I train to look like Chris Hemsworth in Extraction? Okay, the long answer short is that you probably can't. The dude is about 1.9 meters tall, he is 100 kg, he's paid millions of dollars to look the way he does. He also has access to the best nutrition, the best gyms and the best trainers. So it's going to be really difficult for you to look like him unless you're in the same situation as him. However, we can try our best. What we'll want to aim for is to build a Hollywood physique. This usually consists of a big chest, broad shoulders, a very nice V-taper for your back, big biceps, and really defined abs. This calls for a lot of hypertrophy work for your upper body, but like I mentioned earlier, it's going to be really difficult for you to do that because of the lack of equipment. So if you're trying to do this at home, you can work with more upper body based calisthenics such as your push-ups for your bigger chest, pike push-ups for broader shoulders, pull-ups and chin-ups for bigger back and biceps, and a lot of core work. You want to do around 8 to 12 repetitions for about 3 to 6 sets in order to get those hypertrophy gains. And after that, you will also want to work on your diet because in order to have really defined abs or that really toned look, you gotta be on a caloric deficit and burn some fats. And that's all for episode 1 of Ask a Fitness Professional with Strongertmr. If you have any burning questions, don't hesitate to drop a comment below or shoot me a DM on Instagram. If not, do help me by liking and subscribing. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you on the next episode. Don't forget to train, hustle, and grind.